Welcome to our mountains. I'm Rhonda Brashear.
I'm Dean Osborne.
And I'm Joel Brashear. And folks, we got something really special lined out for you today. All the musical acts we're going to feature, they wrote the songs that they're going to perform. Now, Dean, I know the college does some stuff with songwriting, don't they?
We do, through the Kentucky School of Bluegrass and Traditional Music at Hazard Community and Technical College. One of our offerings when we open the doors of the school is a songwriting class. It's part of our curriculum on several degrees, and we've even got Songwriting 1 all online. So you don't have to be in person, and Scott Napier does a great job of teaching that course for us. And you know, I think a song that an artist writes and then performs is the closest you can get to just a true form of art. I'm really excited about the show today.
I took the class when I was down there, but I am not a songwriter. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you remember your grade?
No, I don't. I passed.
We'll look that up and get back with you folks.
Well, folks, right now we're going to show you a very talented young songwriter. This is Madison Lewis, and this song is called Blonde Martin.
When busted flat, couldn't pay for it. The old Nashville streets was a place that I was meant to be. Lost all my money at a gambling swing downtown. Woke up alone with a blonde Martin and a lonesome soul. With my blonde Martin and my lonesome soul. Darling, darling, gotta pack your bags and head down the road. More cafe talking, more bluegrass walking, and I'm the one on that empty shelf. No more good times, just lonely, darkened nights. Hopelessly searching for myself. With my blonde Martin and my lonesome soul. Darling, darling, gotta pack your bags and head down the road. With your blonde Martin and your lonesome soul. Darling, darling, gotta pack your bags and head down the road. Bruised and cracked feet down this long and winding road. Tried to make my way to that grand ole Opry show. Playing year round at those bars is only where I'll go. My blonde Martin and my lonesome soul. Oh, darling, darling, gotta pack your bags and head down the road with your blonde Martin and your lonesome soul. Darling, darling, gotta pack your bags and head down the road. You gotta pack your bags and head down the road.
What a wonderful talent that we have in Madison Lewis. We're going to have some more of her music on our show real soon. You can bet on that. When we come back, Joel's going to introduce us to another local treasure. Don't go away.
At Frontier Nursing University, our mission is to educate nurse midwives and nurse practitioners through distance education. With 75 years in Kentucky, our students and graduates have a passion for personalized care for women and families. Do you share this passion? Visit frontier.edu.
Pastor Sam Baer came to Eastern Kentucky in the late 1970s. He He's been a true spiritual leader to the whole region. Here's Joel with more on why Sam is a true local treasure.
My dad is a special gift from the Lord, and I guess the older I became and the more I traveled, the more I realized what a gift that God had given to me, because I could see other fathers who had maybe not invested as much in their children, or didn't know how to demonstrate their love as much for their kids, but I've always felt very loved and appreciated and protected.
Pastor Sam Baer came to Leslie County almost 40 years ago when an opportunity arose for him to pastor a church in the Dry Hill community.
Home Missions found out about it, and Grace Brother and Home Missions, and they called. Dr. Pfeiffer called me and told me about it and said, "Sam, would you be interested?" I said, "Yes, I would." But then he said, I would need to know by January 4th, this was back in 1979, he said, whether or not you'll come and candidate at this place, Dry Hill, Kentucky. I never heard of Dry Hill, Kentucky before, and didn't even know about the Kentucky Wildcats back then. And so I said, okay, I'll try and give you an answer on that day. And beginning in 1979, about every other year or so, or 3 years, I read through the Bible. And I came January 4th that morning. I did not know what I was going to do yet. And I said, God, I don't know how you're going to do it, but you need to show me today from Scripture what you want me to do. And so I started reading. I was in chapter 10 of Genesis, read chapter 10, chapter 11, and then I came to chapter 12, and it gave me my answer. And God was speaking to Abraham, but he was speaking to me that day too. He said, "Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show you."
Sam's wife, Betty, has been his constant companion during his time here in the mountains.
He had already been to the Bible college for 2 or 3 years, and 4, I guess. And then I went, and here we met the very first night, and I wasn't planning on dating anybody because I was there to learn the Bible at Bible school. And but here I saw him the first night, and he was about 4 or 5 rows up from me, and I told my sister, who was sitting beside me, that I have a premonition that I'm going to be going with that fella. And she said, "No, he's about to get engaged. He's been going with a girl for a whole year." And but it's like it went in one ear and out the other. And the next night when I was walking out to the car, he came up behind me, and we ended up talking for maybe an hour, something like that. And he went home and told his mom, "I just met the girl I'm going to marry, and I haven't even dated her yet." So it was the Lord. Within 1 month, I knew for sure that he was going to be my husband, and he knew right away. So.
And when I asked her if she could play the piano, because I was praying for a wife who could play the piano, and when I asked her if she could play the piano, she kind of lied to me. She says a little bit, and so that first night when I on the first date, I took her to the house, and introduced her to my mom and dad, and took her in to let her play the piano, and I got my horn out, and man, I couldn't believe how well she could play the piano. I said, "You said a little bit." I said, "Man alive." I said, "You're fabulous." She was.
The Baer family came to love Leslie County quickly after arriving.
Well, I loved it right away from the start. I really loved the people and just the place and everything. And our children, I was glad that they could grow up here. And he loves the people too, the way I do. Our whole family has loved the people, and we feel like we're part of them. It's like one big happy family, really, is what our church. The people love each other like we're all family.
You get close to the people that way. They're just really a beautiful people. They're down to earth, and they taught me the importance of loving the elderly and the sick, and when the parents get old, they really take care of their old moms and dads here. I like how one family own a mountain, and then the sons and daughters will build houses right around the mountain. I think that's beautiful and neat how they do that.
Oh, and one special memory I have is Dad would also take turns taking us kids out to eat. And because I'm a twin, my twin and I would always go together when it was our turn. And we would go to Druthers. It was Druthers back then, not Dairy Queen. And he always got us a cheeseburger, which I could never finish, so I'd eat about half of that and he'd eat the other half. And then we would go to Pennington's, I guess, and get an ice cream cone. And those are just fun memories, you know, that I have as a child, that he invested in my life and took time to spend with us.
But our kids are always good, and I can remember one time checking out at Moore Lumber. The kid ahead of us was really giving their parents fits, and I had 3 of mine along, the twins and Caleb. They were the 3 littlest ones. They were just standing back there holding my hand and just as quiet as a mouse, you know. And after they left the store, they said, "What the world do you do to your kids to make them be so quiet?" And I said, I give them instructions before we come in the store that don't touch anything, don't pick up anything, and be good, and I'll give you a treat later. And but it was we had good training too, as far as our Bible college, and that we went to different Bible colleges, and they concentrated on family a lot. It was neat.
And for Pastor Baer, serving his congregation and the community as a whole is something he devotes himself to.
I know there have been times when the phone will ring late at night, you know, like maybe midnight, when you're already slept a couple hours or just going to bed. And then people don't call at that hour unless it's really serious, you know. So, but whenever a person is really in bad shape and about to die, or we're in a car accident or something, you just feel an urgency to want to go see and be with that person or family because of that. And I know other ministers go through the same thing there and are willing to do that. And it's just how people are so ready to help in this area. That's what it's about, getting the gospel out there to help people understand that life is a gift from God, and we owe it to His Son to ask Him to forgive us of our sins and to help us live our lives to please Him, because He's done so much for us and prepared a place in heaven for us, and we want to serve Him until we can't anymore, and want to live for Him and try to teach our kids to do the same.
Through his music, his ministry, and his love of this community, Pastor Sam Baer has changed the lives of countless Leslie Countyans.
God has a number, a heavenly phone. The line is never busy, you can always hear a tone. The blessed Holy Spirit operates that toll-free line. Just pick up your receiver, it won't cost you a dime, and the number is Jeremiah 33:3. Call unto me, and I will answer thee. I'll show thee great and mighty things that you know not of, coming down from heaven above. Heaven above, early in the morning, late in the night. If you know the number, the time is always right. Just put your trust in Jesus, who on Calvary paid it all. He's waiting now to answer your call. And folks, that number is Jeremiah 33:3. Call unto me, and I will answer thee. I'll show thee great and mighty things that you know not of, coming down from heaven above. Coming down from heaven, heaven above.
Pastor Baer, you are a local treasure.
Thanks, Joel. Now, when we come back, I'm going to show you my take on chicken salad. I think you're going to love it. We'll be right back.
One voice, unifying banking in Kentucky, our Commonwealth. We are the Kentucky Bankers Association. We are the KBA. The KBA is a nonprofit trade organization that has been providing legislative, compliance, education, and vendor solutions to its member institutions since 1891. The KBA's directors and staff work together with its members to make the financial services industry in Kentucky a more effective and successful place to work. The mission of the KBA is to provide effective advocacy for banks in Kentucky and on a national level. We strive to serve as a reliable and responsive source of information and education about areas of interest to the Kentucky banker. The strength of the Kentucky Bankers Association is bankers unifying as an industry to speak as one voice. With one voice, we are a commonwealth.
Welcome back to our mountains. You know, everybody has their favorite chicken salad recipe, so I'm going to give you mine today. We start with some boneless, skinless chicken breast, which I have cooked, and it's cooling here in the bowl. And we're going to add some of the Miracle Whip salad dressing, or you can use mayo if you prefer. I'm going to put some pecans, some fresh apples, and some spices. Might even throw in a few dried cranberries. The thing about this recipe is it's very versatile and you can add and take away, but the main thing is to get your chicken cooked to the right temperature and chopped to your liking. Some people even put it in the food processor, but I prefer just to chop mine up and rough chop it. So we're going to do that. So just rough chop it, and actually you can even, if it's so tender, you can just pull it apart with your fingers or a fork and just shred it up. This is cooked so tender that I can do that. Today I used tenderloins, the chicken tenderloins, and they cooked just in a very few minutes, and I think these will be really good. So what I did was I put them in water, salted them a little bit, and cooked for about 10 minutes and let it set till they completely cooked. I have about 2 pounds worth of chicken tenderloins today, and this is going to make a big bowl of chicken salad. It lasts for several days in your refrigerator, makes wonderful sandwiches, or you can put it on lettuce leaves, put it in a wrap for those who are carb conscious right now. I found some carb friendly wraps the other day. They're pretty good. All right, those are good. Now, I'm going to add, according to the amount of your chicken, you don't want to over dress it, but just put in enough just to moisten it a little bit. Stir it in. You can always add more. It's hard to take it out, but you can add more. And with your wooden spoon or plastic spoon, however, just incorporate it in. And I'm going to toss in some craisins, some dried cranberries, and that's about a 1/4 cup. That gives it some sweetness. I'm going to add in about a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. Now to me, this is the best part of the chicken salad. I just love those pecans. And a little bit of dill weed. Just a little, you don't want to overpower it. Now, another version that you can do, you leave out the dill weed and you add some curry powder. But since I've already added the dill today, I'm not going to put it in, but curried chicken salad is delicious, and I do make that quite often. Now you can add celery to this. You could add onions to this. I prefer not to, but I'm going to add some fresh chopped apple. And today I've got some of these really nice Honeycrisp. I'm going to leave the skin on and just chop them up right into my salad. And according to taste, you can add 1, 2, or more. I'll probably just do 1 today. I also like my chicken salad chilled. Some people like it warm, just like it is right here. It's whatever you're liking. One way I like to serve this is to just put it on a lettuce leaf. And these romaine lettuce leaves are perfect for that. And just put a little bit right on there. You could place these on a platter. Very pretty, very elegant. And you could add other fruit. I like to use grapes with mine. But it's a nice little lunch. Here's another way of serving your chicken salad is to get a tortilla wrap or a low carb wrap, as this is here, and just put you a good sized spoonful on here and roll it up, wrap it up, and it's ready to go. Those would be great in your lunchbox. So here's my version of apple pecan chicken salad. Hope you like it and hope you make it soon.
Miss Rhonda, I think I'll take mine with a lettuce wrap, gluten-free style. When we come back, the Wooks are going to do an original tune for us here on Our Mountains. Don't go away.
Passion, personalized care, and a mission to serve women and families in Kentucky. We are Frontier Nursing University. Through distance education and clinicals in your own community, become a nurse midwife and share your passion for women and family care. Visit frontier.edu.
Howdy folks, we hope you enjoyed Rhonda's Country Kitchen. Here's one we cooked up all by ourselves called Out of Mind. Sometimes a man in the mirror. Some folks call me the breed. On my own time, lost my mind.
Big thanks to the Wooks for being on our show again this week. You know, we had a lot of fun with them that day. We went out there to Bourbon County. Fun fact, the house that we filmed in was one of the first homes ever built in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and it was beautiful. Now, when we come back, we've got even more lined up for you on this episode of Our Mountains, so don't go anywhere. Our Mountains is sponsored by Frontier Nursing University, Pioneers for Healthcare. The Kentucky Bankers Association, more than banks, they're your neighbors. The Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky, inspiring charitable giving, investing in our communities.
Well, that does it for another week of Our Mountains. I hope you enjoyed all of the original songs and artists. We certainly enjoyed having them.
You know, if you're interested in songwriting, we do offer that class at HCTC's Kentucky School of Bluegrass and Traditional Music, both in person and online. Information's on your screen, and we would love to have you in that class if you're interested in songwriting. I looked it up, Rhonda, and I'm glad to report that you got an A in that class.
That's good to hear.
And you know, if you liked any of the music you saw today or any of the other segments we had, everything we've ever done is on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Those addresses are there on the screen. We'd love for you to check that out.
See you next time. Bye now.